Now, Parliament had its fair share of the disconnection from the national grid for owing the distributor some 23 million Ghana cedis. Now, my colleague Kweku Asante is Parliamentary Affairs correspondent. He joins us with more. Kweku Asante, first, how did this disconnection issue resolve?
Well, it hasn't been fully resolved yet. The lights are still on in Parliament, though, despite the ECG's insistence that they'll put up the lights for that 23 million Ghana cedi debt. We understand there are some frantic negotiations ongoing to settle some part of the debt so that ECG will keep the lights on. But the ECG had clearly informed the House that it intended to disconnect the Parliament of Ghana from the national grid due to this debt. The last time this happened, Parliament coughed about 5 million Ghana cedis to settle part of this debt. But Parliament is still owing up to 23 million cedis. ECG officials have been in the House today. The lights haven't gone off yet, but we understand some talks are going to happen. But if there are no satisfactory talks, ECG says they will be left with no alternative but to disconnect the Parliament of Ghana because of this huge debt.
This afternoon, we're also learning of an urgent meeting to address the impasse brought about by the rumored change in the majority leadership. The president is also expected to meet a caucus at 6 p.m. today. We understand, however, that a change of leadership is still on the card, and there are still elements in the majority and the governing party who are demanding the change. Has that meeting happened yet? What more do we know?
Well, Aisha, there is still simmering tensions in Parliament. There are so many elements within the governing New Patriotic Party caucus in Parliament who believe that the change is merited to give the New Patriotic Party a chance out of the 2024 election because Parliament will be such a key issue. But there are still elements also within Parliament who believe that Osei Mensah Bonsu must be allowed to see to the end of the term. So there was a meeting scheduled for this morning to iron out the issues, especially because NPP MPs in Parliament, led by the First Deputy Speaker, have insisted that it is only the caucus in Parliament that can cause that change. And so this morning, that could have been on the agenda, but that meeting has now been cancelled because of the President inviting these persons for a meeting at the Jubilee House this evening. So at 6 this evening, there will be a meeting between the President of the Republic, and the caucus in Parliament to try and trash out some of these issues. But like you said, the change in leadership is still on the cards. There are still those who believe that the change must happen and that Osei Mensah Bonsu served the party quite well. But this is the time to bow out, to give fresh faces the chance to lead. And that Alexander Penyomakin should be the one to lead so that should the party remain majority or going to minority in 2025, they can continue their fight. So at 6 p.m. today, the MPs will all go to Jubilee House and try and see if this issue can be ironed out.
Kweku Asante is our parliamentary correspondent. Definitely there's more we'll be bringing your way from Parliament in our subsequent bulletin. Let's talk.